Okay, Kinsta came out with the top 14 secure email providers for 2022. Folks, this is really important to have good, secure email service. You see all the crap that went on with Joe Biden and his father, and they put in the email the big guy like he was trying to hide who his father was. You know, when you're putting stuff on emails, folks, it's not hidden. You might as well be talking it. You know, it's the same thing. It's so easy to pick it up. In fact, it's worse because you got a permanent record of it. You saw what happened with Hillary Clinton's 30,000 emails that she tried to get destroyed. You need something you need emails, some sort of service provider with emails that has end-to-end encryption that those emails can never be pulled up, okay? Now, email is a big part of our daily lives. It's essential to know about all the secure email providers that are out there. The average person spends over 5 hours a day checking their work and personal email. But while email is valuable and efficient, it's not very secure. At least not if you're using a standard email provider like Gmail or Outlook. Now, email is one of the easiest ways for hackers to access your computer's data. To protect your email and all the information sent daily, you need a secure email provider. Now, this article that I'm going to be talking to you about, I'm going to be talking about the 14 most secure email providers, and it'll help you pick the right one for your business. And I'm going to tell you the one that I like the best too. It's funny that the one I picked is the one they picked also. But what are secure email providers? Well, a secure email provider has features designed to keep your email account and the content of your email secure. Now, usually this is done through end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption means that the email is encrypted on its entire journey from sender to recipient. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here and the notification bell next to it. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. All right, now, for that reason, when you choose a secure email provider, you have to pay attention to the type of encryption and other security practices that are used. And this is something a lot of people just don't think about. And lawyers are some of the worst people for not using encryption. You would think they would be the best because they've got attorney-client privilege they're supposed to protect, but they just don't do it. They're some of the worst people for trying to protect clients' records. Now, why do you need a secure email provider? Well, to understand why secure email is essential, let's look at what happens when you send emails from a standard provider like Gmail. It's not that Gmail has no security features. Emails sent from Gmail and many other major providers use what's called transport layer security, also called TLS encryption, which is encryption to encrypt messages in transit between your computer and the server. Now, once they reach the server, Google encrypts the data at a network level, but Google itself has access. This is the problem. So if you're ever in an audit and the IRS goes and they subpoena records, Google has those records. So is that encrypted? No. I mean, if they can get accessibility to it, that's not private records, okay? Now, it no longer reads your emails to serve you ads as it does for the 2017, but Google still scans the content of your emails to provide features like Smart Reply. Now, it's also easy for Gmail or other providers to give third-party access to your emails. So now your email is leaving Google's server and traveling to its destination. If the recipient's email provider also uses TLS, the email will continue to be protected in transit as most major email services do. However, if the recipient doesn't use TLS, the email will be unencrypted and easy to intercept. And even if the email is protected in transit, it may not be safe once it reaches the recipient's email server. Now, some email providers don't encrypt emails on the server at all. Now, how do you secure email? How do secure email providers protect your email? Now, the most secure email providers use what's called end-to-end encryption to protect your email. That means even the email provider itself has no access to your emails. The only person who can read the encrypted emails is the recipient who has an authentication. The providers may also use the Sender Policy Framework, also called SPF, to authenticate emails and further protect you. Now, with SPF, when someone tries to send an email on your behalf that isn't from a validated IP address, the receiver will be notified that the email came from a non-authorized user, and they'll have the choice to reject it. Now, do you have to change your email address to switch to a secure email provider? Now, in most cases, you will have to create a new email address when you change email providers. As long as your old email account exists, you can have your emails forwarded to your new inbox. But keep in mind that those forwarded emails go through the old provider servers. So there really aren't end-to-end encryption. That's the problem with using that system. Now, some secure email providers have additional features to help you migrate from your old email provider. Now, how do you choose a secure email provider? Well, each secure email provider has a different set of features. Here are a few things that you should consider is server location. Some countries, including the United States, collect and share intelligence data gathered from email servers. This might not be important to you if you're more worried about hackers than government agencies. That's the problem that you have dealing with government agencies like the IRS or some other three-letter government word. Okay, now, but for activists and others who want to keep their emails out of government hands, an email provider located in countries like Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, Norway, or Sweden would be ideal. They have stricter privacy laws. I actually like Switzerland the best. All right, let's look at encryption. I've already discussed the difference between end-to-end encryption and transport encryption like TLS. Now, within end-to-end encryption, there are different types. For example, you can have symmetric or asymmetric encryption. Now, symmetric encryption uses a single key to encrypt and decrypt data. Both the sender and the recipient have to have this key. Now, asymmetric encryption, also known as a public key cryptography or encryption, means two unique sets of keys are used to encrypt the data. The sender uses the recipient's public key to encrypt the message. This public key is mathematically linked to a private key that only the recipient knows. The mail can be decrypted with a private key. Now, asymmetric encryption isn't as straightforward or as fast as symmetric encryption, but it adds another layer of security, okay? Like, for instance, the two-factor authentication code, which is also called the 2FA. Y'all have probably used this in, some crypto brokerage companies use these. In fact, a lot of them use them now. In addition to choosing a provider with solid encryption, it's important to make sure your account credentials are protected. Now, let's look at two-factor authentication, which means that stealing your password won't be enough to get into your email account. You'll also need another form of authentication. One factor is something like a password. The other is something you have like your mobile phone. One of the most common forms of two-way authentication is texting you a one-time code to use together with your username and password. All right, now let's look at metadata heading or what's called metadata header stripping. An email usually contains metadata about its recipient and its sender's computer browser and network. Many secure email providers strip this information out. Another thing is what's called open source. Open source software makes its source code available for users and developers. This means that anyone can examine the product's code to ensure it's secure. All right, now another factor you got to look at is other encrypted features. Your standard email provider might also provide other tools like Google Calendar and Google Drive and Gmail. Now, some secure email providers offer similar features, but they're not encrypted. For example, a secure calendar or secure cloud storage is an example. Now, usability on desktop and mobile. You're switching to secure email for your data encryption, but that doesn't mean the user experience isn't important. If you like to check your email on a mobile device, choose an email provider that works well on mobile. You can always add a secure provider to your favorite email or your favorite mail client app. Now, let's look at the 14 top secure email providers for 2022. I'm going to break down the 14 secure email providers, including their key and pricing. But some of this stuff I'm going to cut out because it's too much stuff to go over. If you want more information on this, you can contact us on it. Proton Mail, which a lot of our clients use this. In fact, probably more clients use this than any other one. It is the most well-known secure email provider. It was one of the first, not the very first, but it was one of the first that actually came out. It's an open source based in Switzerland, and it provides end-to-end asymmetric encryption. You can use Proton Mail for free if you're sending fewer than 150 messages per day and don't need a lot of storage. One neat feature of Proton Mail is self-destructing emails. You can actually set an expiration date for an email that you're actually sending, and then it's deleted from the recipient's inbox at that time. This is really neat, that feature. Now, with Proton Mail, your data is stored using zero-access encryption. That means Proton Mail itself doesn't know your password, and it can't decrypt your emails. It also means they can't reset your password. Now, Proton Mail also offers a mobile app for Android and iOS. Now, there are a lot of key features on it. I'm not going to go through that. One of the big ones, though, it is in Switzerland. It is open source. It has end-to-end encryption, zero-access encryption, self-destructing emails, mobile app, custom domains, and paid plans. But the thing I like the best about this is one of the few that has a free version, and it actually has quite a bit of data before you really would have to go up to the paid version. The free version allows only one user to have it. It does have 500 megabytes of storage and 150 messages per day that you can send per day. And they do have another program that's called the Plus program. First one, again, is the free one. The second one is the Plus program. That's $5 a month. I'm not going to go through all the benefits, but the third one is Professional, which is $8 a month. Visionary is $30 a month. But I'll tell you something, you can do just well on the free version. If you find out later you need to go on the paid version, you can always switch it. The second one is mailbox.org. That's a good one. You can look into that one. But like I said, I like going through all of these. And also they mentioned that Proton Mail they thought was the best. But this one is actually in Germany. Like I said before, you need to pick. If you're going to pick a service, pick one that is not in the country where you're living in. That it just adds an extra amount of security. Number 3 is one called HubSpot. Okay, and number 4 is one called Zoho Mail. I've seen quite a few clients have that. I've probably seen more clients have that than any other one other than Proton, which is number 1. Another one that's used, which is number 5 in this, is Tutanota. That is another good one. And number 6 is one called Postio. Another one, which is number 7, is Thex. 8 is Private Mail. 9 is one called Start Mail. And then 10 is Hushmail. Now, Hushmail was probably one of the very first that came out. The problem with Hushmail I don't like is out of Canada. Canada's like you're in the U.S., folks, okay? You might as well be crossing the border. They've got so many treaties over there. I would not be using Hushmail, okay? I'd be using one that's maybe out of Switzerland. Even Germany's better than Canada. But that's number 10. 11 is Counter Mail, and number 12 is Malfeasance or Malfence Mail. Another one is called Runbox. That's number 13. And 14 is Collab Now. Now, the best secure email provider for your business, let's talk about that, how you end up picking that. The best secure email provider for your business depends on your needs. Here are a few recommendations to consider. For the best all-around secure email provider, they advised using Proton Mail or Tutanota. Okay, those were the two best for that. For a top free secure email provider, they said try Proton Mail's free version. By far, they have got an excellent plan for that. For the most secure email provider, try Counter Mail. I think you could do a lot with Proton Mail, but you can compare the two and see which one you like the best. For a secure email provider with collaboration features for enterprises, try Zoho Mail. Now, I'm going to give you kind of a summary on this. And that is email is essential for your business communication, but it does have flaws. If you send any kind of private information over email, consider ditching your current provider for a more secure option. Folks, I can tell you this is one of the most important things. If you want to avoid headaches, this is the thing you need to do. If you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions, hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And number two is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here. Notification bell next to it. You'll get all videos automatically every day. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.